Does he have a girlfriend?
No, it's kind of a shtick, but like if he was like,
Let's go.
Yeah. I couldn't get my clothes off fast enough.
You'd be like, I'm down. Thank you for asking.
We're your besties in your ear. Back for another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Rest in peace, Alana.
Wait, it started off on a sad note. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's not sad. It's better because of it. I don't think this is one of those scenarios. I think it's just sad.
But with her next career step, so I feel like so many people assume she's going to be editing another podcast. She's not. She's like top dog at this place. Right?
Yeah, it wasn't a lateral move.
No, it was.
It was like a what's it called? A leapfrog move.
Yeah.
I don't have the words today, but what is that called? What's it called when you run and you jump over those things? What's that sport? It's a sport and track. You run.
Oh, hurdles.
Hurdles. She hurdled. Forward.
Sure.
Massively. She did not go sideways.
If you guys don't know this, Alex is sick compared to that analogy. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I had food poisoning.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Like I'm floating.
Really?
I slept so much.
You were like down bad, or still are maybe.
I at one point like got up because I knew I needed to throw up, and I fell because I got so dizzy. I was just like on the floor. I know, it was bad.
Alex.
I know.
Were you? Oh, sorry.
Amory's here.
Like,
we brought the intern in.
Sometimes I forget that like people can't see who we're talking to. Like they're like they have no recollection who Amory is. I'm like, Amory, did you help her?
Jordyn said she's now going to start communicating with just Amory and not me. And,
yeah.
And to which I said is my dream.
And I'm gonna yeah, because Amory and I know your schedule better than you do.
Yes.
I'm literally like texting her. I'm like, she has to move her hair appointment. Can you wake her up? All this stuff. Because I'm like, I'm gonna kill Alex, but it's fine.
And I'm just floating.
Speaking of hair, your hair's short.
It's short for just the day.
But I mean, I feel like you're that one of the few people in this world where your hair changes your whole vibe.
I know. And last night I went to this event, and some of the girls were like, "You gotta keep it short." And I'm like, but only, no, I feel like Tuesday through Thursday, I want it short. And then Friday through Monday, I want it long again.
You know the vibe I get? Like,
what?
When it's long, I get very much like silly, fun, happy-go-lucky girl. But then when your hair's short, I kind of get like, you have like swag to you when it's with short hair.
Quick pause to talk about our one and only, show it to him, Pink Whitney. No lie, Jordyn and I are obsessed with Pink Whitney, especially summertime.
Cheers.
Cheers. The #1 flavored vodka, which we can attest to that because how many shots of this have we taken?
1 million.
And 1 million. And now they have the new 1.75 milliliter bottle, which is perfect for taking to your friend's house, summer vacation, 4th of July. Like, bring the party, bring your Pink Whitney. Head to your local liquor store today and buy Pink Whitney. Bring the party to the boat, wherever you're going for the 4th. Or you can go to your local bar, and what do? Shoot our shot, order a round of Pink Whitney shots, go up, say hi to a cute boy, take him a shot of Pink Whitney. The summer's beverage is the one and only Pink Whitney.
I think I'm going to be drinking a lot of this on the shore this summer.
I think if you had a brain, you would.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm just going to go up and buy boys Pink Whitney shots. And if they reject me, I'll say, I'm sorry, but this is for work. A focus group. I'd make sure you like it.
There you go. Tell them we need them to respond on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Why it's a 9 and a 10.
Exactly. Cheers.
That's my favorite word, so I don't really want to let go of that voluntarily.
Like, right, maybe it's with the hat, but like right now you have swag today.
But it can easily go the other way, where sometimes it can go very like newscaster. My hair. I don't know how to fix it.
What?
So if I have like a blazer and my short hair on, you're kind of like, oh.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Let your hair down, so to speak.
So I feel like I've had this battle in my head about cutting my hair short forever. And I went to this event the other night, and I was talking to this girl, and her hair was the short, like, Paige DeSorbo hair that I've been wanting. And I was like, is this a sign that I should just chop it?
Now, let me tell you, I got to talk to you. I went to therapy like 75 times this week, so I have a new thought on signs. But I think that you would be so cute with short hair, because that's at least a style. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I never did that. I just did, like, a blunt short. Like, I never, like, went all the way. Paige DeSorbo's is, like, all the way, though. That's, like, a cut.
No, yours was shorter than Paige.
But it wasn't, like, styled to, like, hers is, like, that flat, like, sleek bob thing.
Yeah.
Mine was, like, free-flowing.
I'm tempted to buy a bob off of Amazon, like a wig. before I get it cut short because like right now my hair, look how long it's getting.
Just use an app.
Okay, that's what someone told me, and I'm like, how? I don't know how.
There's an app for that. You just put your face and you pick any hairstyle you want.
Really?
Hold on, you're 28. We have to talk about that. Happy birthday.
You didn't even come to my birthday. I'm just kidding. Alex was like, we'll get lunch because I can't make your birthday dinner. Text me, I'm sick. I'm like, okay, it's fine.
I was like that was one of those things where it was like, it took everything in me to send the text message.
I know. I felt really bad.
I felt really bad. I was like, it's her birthday. Thank God I had Amory.
I legitimately, this was the most calm birthday I've ever had. I went to dinner. I was in bed by 11. I had 2 glasses of wine. I just, like, last year, I literally fell asleep on the streets in New York from how much tequila you guys fed me that I didn't need to do that again.
I know, but I loved it today. You were like, I had 2 drinks last night. This is 28. And I wanted to be like, okay, bitch. It was not only 7 days ago you walked in this office, went to bed at 5:30.
Yeah. I feel like next week might bring a few of those days, too.
Yeah, I'm like, this is 28 just for the day.
Because we're going to Nashville, baby. And that's going to be bad.
It's always bad.
I know. I'm scared. Whenever I travel with you, I either feel like we have 0 to 100 personalities.
Yeah, but right now, if this Alex arrived in Nashville, she's sleeping a lot.
No, I feel like you'll be fine.
You think so?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
what could happen is I've slept so much by then that I'm ready to go.
Are you here this weekend?
I am
Okay, good. So you can rest.
doing nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, besides going to happy hour. With the intern who wants an Aperol Spritz.
Oh, okay. So do you know where you're taking her?
No, tell me.
La Boucherie,
That's where I said, okay.
but not the one near.
it's okay. There's so many.
Okay, not the one near your apartment.
This is my new thing. If they can find my unit number and get past my doorman, come kill me.
Okay. Cut
At this
that.
point, it sounds better.
Cut that. No, La Boucherie, the big one in West Village.
The big one that I can walk to still.
Yes, because you, me, and Alana went to a tiny one near you, and that one, the Aperol Spritz are The big one that you can also walk to, Chef's Kiss.
That's where I saw Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, also, you know who has a really good Aperol Spritz?
Where?
While We Were Young.
Do they?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go there then.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go there because I just love that place. But riddle me this. How do you have a...
can't take it
How do you have a... Why?
I don't know. I just feel like everything you say, I'm like, what's going on?
Ow, I just hit my head on the mic. I don't know, like, how do you make a bad Aperol Spritz? It's Aperol and champagne.
Maybe if you put too much Aperol in and it's like too tart or too sweet.
Yes, I did at Gubball. I said light on the Aperol.
Because you and I like champagne and we like less sweet things. So I feel like a lot of people might get it with like not enough and they're like, oh, this is too tart. And some people might get it like us with too much and we're like, this is way too sweet.
I literally want a drop.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, I have a bone to pick with you.
Can't wait. Pick it.
So Alex and I have a shared app. Before Alana left, she's like, you guys should make a shared app and then you can like text cool, funny topics and discuss it.
Shared note, shared note.
Shared note, sorry. Shared
I just
app.
wanted to paint the picture to make sure that they knew we were on an app.
We invented an app, guys. Buy it. It's called Shared Notes.
And it's $24.99 per
Um,
person.
Can I read one of the things that you wrote?
Mm-hmm.
This is Alex. Your body knows when you want to have a baby. LMAO.
Wait, my
what?
whole app just deleted. Did you delete it?
No, it's right here.
It's voice texting. Did you delete? What? It's voice texting. Voice texting. Okay, it's back. Yeah, my hairdresser told me that.
Oh my God, I had a heart attack. I thought your body was like time to get pregnant. I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, if I did want to do a pregnancy announcement on here, don't read my note.
Don't write it down.
I'm pregnant. No, my hairdresser went on this, like, she was on this whole thing about how, like, you could sleep with 20 people. And if you knew you wanted to get pregnant with one of them and they all, sorry, this is like TMI, but if they all came inside you, these are her words, not mine, your body could know, like, this is the one and, like, somehow it all connects and triggers within you.
No.
Well, I would imagine the answer is actually no, because otherwise people wouldn't wind up pregnant when they didn't want to be. But she's not referring to that, though.
Oh, a lot of people do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's like, but if your body knows you want to, I'm like, no, because there's all these, like, issues around that. But she was just saying, like, your body will know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever had, like, that maternal sense, like, where you see a kid and you're like, I kind of want that one day? Because a lot of my friends, like, feel that. They'll, like, see a baby and cry, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I guess I'll answer honestly. I would typically say, can we skip this question? But let's not. I
You can if you want.
No, it's okay. I used to know, like, I want kids, of course, and I absolutely know that without a shadow of a doubt. I want 4, and I like can name them. But I used to know, like, after Rough and Rowdy, I was like, I want to start getting pregnant. And I put this, like, arbitrary timeline in my head. And it's funny, I actually walked with Big Cat to work one day, and I told him that. And he was like, oh, girl, don't do that to yourself. And at the time, I was like, what? I was like, of course I'm doing that to myself. Like, that's my timeline. And then Rough and Rowdy ended, and I was like, I'm not ready. Like, so I've never felt that. I've never felt, gosh, I don't know. I've never seen a kid and, like, cried. But when I'm with my nieces and nephews, I'm like, of course I want this one day. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel that, like, right now, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What about you?
Well,
Oh,
big shift happened
boy.
recently.
well, I knew the shift was happening. I was listening and watching it.
So I used to be like, I'm never having kids.
Correct.
Never, ever. Recently, this has been happening the past, like, 3 months. I've been, like, seeing kids and feeling something. And I saw a little boy holding hands with his mother the other day, and I almost started crying.
Oh, I'm softening you.
And I was like, oh, my God, what is happening to me? I think I want kids one day.
Yeah, because you used to be like, I'll be the best stepmom.
Yeah.
Which is also a beautiful thing, and, like, that's such an important role. But I think it's so sweet that you see little kids. Like, I do think kids are, like, the sweetest, most cuddly. Like, I definitely think that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they're just cute.
They're adorable. And, like, I think they say once, I don't know, obviously, we don't know. But they say once you, like, have the kid, you can't even explain what that does to you. I fully believe that.
Just, like, raising a little kid and it, like, being obsessed with you sounds so cool.
And having half your DNA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really sweet.
Like, my best friend from Fargo has 2 kids, and one looks just like her husband, and the other, her newest one, looks just like her. And she was explaining, like, the feeling of a baby looking like you is, like, she's like, it's so special. And I was like, I can't even imagine a mini me.
No, right?
A mini you scares me.
No, I'm so excited about it. I'm like, how
She'll be
cute.
the sassiest, bossiest, like, girl in the world.
Oh, yeah.
But not in a bad way, just like, this is my world and you're all living it. Like, I feel like she would, like, bully little boys.
Well, we can't bully. We won't allow. Her mom will come to school and yank her out by the hair.
I could see your, like, daughter literally with, like, long curly hair, wearing, like, the coolest outfit, being like, get out of my way. This is my school.
But if she's not nice to people, I mean, it will be like, I will rain hellfire on her.
I feel like I'm just have a nerdy kid.
No, you're going to have, like, not a nerdy kid.
But they'll be best friends.
They will know their schedule. No, you're getting the opposite. That's what they say. They say you get the opposite, actually. I'll have a very, like, scheduled, wants her lunch packed in, like, certain ways, and you'll have my child.
Oh, God.
I know.
I mean, my parents did have Satan's spawn. That was my brother.
Oh.
He was the worst kid in the world.
Sorry,
and, like,
Colton.
I know. He's great now. He's a good guy now, but oh, my God. He was, like, Satan's spawn. He would, like, kick doors, break them, throw things at doors.
The anger that you talk about that it has in the family.
I told you.
Mom's like, no.
And I was the sweetest little girl. I didn't talk to people. I was too scared.
So one was, like, really mad and one was really shy.
Yeah. My brother would, like, my mom would, like, change him and he would just, like, pee up.
So you guys, like, got better with time. I think my parents would say, like, my brother and I were angels. Like, we were so sweet, like, all the way through, like, when we lived at home.
Michael's still sweet.
Michael's so sweet. And, like, but when we went to college, we were, like, doors off.
Was Michael crazy in college? I know you were.
Yeah, I would say, like, we just, like, wild. Mm-hmm. Not, like, a pain in the ass, though.
Have you ever told your study abroad story on the pod?
No.
You should tell it.
The one where I got roofied and woke up in the hospital.
But I forgot it was that
Well,
serious.
what abroad story are you talking about?
I don't know. I just remember you telling me and be like, I guess I wasn't laughing now. That's a scary
No, it's funny
story.
now. I did wake up in the hospital because my mom told me when you go abroad, you're going to go to Spain, you're tall and you're blonde, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb, never let your hand off your drink, like, don't, like, keep your hand on top of it even. So one day I was talking to this girl at the bar, my roommate, and I had my drink beside me. I didn't have my hand off of it. But I didn't have anything over it, but I was talking to her like this. This guy came up behind me and like dropped, like and I guess he always roofied in this club. But the bouncer saw him do it to me. So by the time the bouncer got he was like, oh no, like the blonde girl's down. So by the time he got over
Blonde girl down, blonde girl down.
Blonde girl down, blonde girl over there, aisle 5. So he's like coming over. But I'm in Opium, if you've ever been in Barcelona. It's massive. Stories like very hard to get from one point to the other. I have to self-admit this, very drunk at this point. So not a lot's going on. This is on the police report. So by the time I like drink the drink, he like puts me in a cab, pays the cab mates, like take her to the hospital. Like this drug's gonna, I woke up on IVs in the Barcelona hospital, surrounded by a bunch of people that looked like me, I was just in like a reclining chair, like.
Oh, they were also admitted?
A bunch of people, like just the roofie thing. Yeah. So I'm escorted to this little room for checkout at like 6 a.m. And they're giving me my police report in Spanish. And I'm like, I can't really speak it. So I had to call my best friend, Sydney, who's fluent. And I'm like, can you translate this to me? So she translates it to me. And she's like, you were at a club. And I'm like, oh, boy. My parents were tracking my phone, freaking out. Yeah, it was terrible.
I bet Kim wanted to kill you.
Yeah.
But also, I'm so glad that you were okay.
Well, I got so lucky.
That bouncer should be in your life forever.
I can't even, like, I could cry thinking about it. I'm like, I just got so fortunate.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a funny story from abroad that you wanted me to tell.
I know, I'm like, why did I think it was funny in my head?
There's probably like a funny one that I told you at some point that's just not that one.
I think because that night we were having a funny night.
Like a silly, giggly
yeah,
night.
I remember we went to Cat. She was in the beginning of our friendship.
Oh, boy.
Actually, no, wasn't it?
I have your birthday card. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
I wrote about that. It's so funny. It's only your second birthday with me.
Oh, wow.
You know, like we're 2 technically.
I know, and your birthday's coming up July 1st.
I know.
Are you ready, the big 3-0?
I'm very excited about 30. I just don't know about the birthday part.
Are you going to go to NASCAR?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go to NASCAR. Amory and I were thinking about maybe having a, like, disco cowgirl birthday party here.
Yes.
But, you know, we're getting quotes. And just kind of like, I don't know.
You always could do Mad Morton's.
Always could.
Always could do there. And I feel like you're so good at decorating, you could turn that place into a show.
There's a bar, though, that has a checkered floor with NASCAR prints on the wall that I just went to, ironically. Randy took me.
What's it called?
Ray's. Let's talk about our favorite sunglasses with the best invention, because what's worse than sunglass hair?
When I put my hair up and you do your party pony or I do my slick back pony, wearing sunglasses, having it rip it out, drives me insane.
And it ruins it all.
Ruins it all.
But then Shady Rays came along and they fixed it. What's your favorite color?
So my favorite Shady Rays are, this is not a color, this is a style. I love an aviator.
Okay.
And I love a black sunglass.
I was going to say I'm a matte black aviator girl when it comes to Shady Rays. And other aviators can be so uncomfortable, like the nose piece, etc. But then you just put these on when you're on the boat and it doesn't pull your hair out. And it is like, how did it take so long for us to try them?
There'll be days where I actually won't wear sunglasses because they're about to ruin my hair that I just put up in a ponytail. But with Shady Rays, I always can wear sunglasses because they will literally never ruin my hair, which is phenomenal.
It's the best. So, guys, if you're listening and you love your shades, but you're sick of getting them caught in your hair, don't worry, because our friends over at Shady Rays designed sunglasses just for you. Their tangle-free aviator is all style, which we can attest to, and no tangle, with their patent-pending nose pieces created to avoid any snags in your hair. Find out why they have over 250,000 5-star reviews, which that I can totally see. If you don't love your shades, exchange or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk in finding your next pair of sunglasses. These sunglasses are their best-selling collection and sell out often, but today, exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays offering 30% off their tangle-free aviators and more. That's huge, 30% off. Head to shadyrays.com/tangle-free with code MEANGIRL. That's shadyrays.com with code MEANGIRL.
Oh, yeah.
The people from Succession own it. I don't know.
That's cool.
I just went and she was like, "Do you want to go?" And it's like I'm like foaming at the mouth.
Have you reached out to them?
Yes.
Did they give you a no?
No, they gave us a yes with a price.
Oh, God. Like, is it bad?
No.
Well, why don't you just have people pay a minimum?
Well, I that's the thing. Like, we have a bar minimum, so you buy your own drinks, but then you got to pay to rent the place.
Maybe this isn't appropriate, but, like, if you ask everyone to pay, like, a $5 fee to, like, enter the party, is that bad?
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Amory's like, that's trashy.
Amory's like, just
I'm
go to
kidding,
Mad
I'm
Morton's
kidding.
where it's free.
But it's
Yeah.
your 30th. I'm sorry, but you have to do it big. Also, when is this going to be? I need to put it in my calendar.
I know. I don't even know. I guess the only time I could do it is the Wednesday before I leave for Chicago. Which is the what? The 28th or 7th or something?
Look at my calendar right now. I'm here. You better plan fast. Actually, this is actually the perfect time because, like, you have to tell people, like, 2 days before.
That's it. And
Yeah.
it's a Wednesday, so, like, you're not gone yet.
Also, Wednesdays are perfect because a lot of people start leaving on Thursdays for the shore and the Hamptons. So everyone will be here on Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't think you've left yet. And you don't
Yeah.
really care what you do that night because, like, you're traveling.
Yeah, even, like, for my birthday dinner, I told everyone, of course, like, a month in advance. And I had, like, 5 people drop off, like, day before.
That's New York.
Yeah.
We have to introduce our guests. Don't you think we should mention that we're
Oh,
talking
wow. It's
to
already
them?
been... such an important question to ask you, but maybe I'll save that for next time.
No, ask it now. And then I think we should talk about that we're doing a shared pod today.
I know, but it might, like... I don't know if it's too much.
Let's try it.
Okay.
We got time. We got cushion.
I was going to ask you how to hug.
Oh, arms above or below?
Yeah.
It's so big.
Okay, so there's 3 ways to hug. So you can hug, like, the platonic way, the cross. Because,
Yeah.
like, how I would hug you. You can hug above, you can hug below.
Right.
Well, the last guy I was hugging was very, very tall. So I only learned how to hug below. And now I've been seeing people my size.
Oh.
And I'm like, how do you hug people? Men. I should say, not people. I don't want to hug a girl above or below.
Yeah. I think about this all the time. Okay, my dad has a very best friend who's small, shorter. He always, I could be in giant heels. He's hugging me on top.
Oh.
And so I often think about this because whenever I find somebody,
Is he going like this?
yeah, I mean, and I'm going down, right? And I do love a guy. I love the idea of a guy hugging on top.
Yeah.
But I don't hate a girl like kind of on her tippy toes hugging on top either, because then his hands get to go around your waist. I would rather his hands on my waist than anything else.
So I used to always be a top hugger. Like, I would go on
Uh-huh.
top, and then they would go around my waist. But then, like I said, with the tall guy, I was used to going around his waist because he was so much taller than me. And it's cute because then you can, like, kind of burrow into their chest.
Okay.
Um,
A little nuzzle moment. Yeah, like
And
you
wh-
kind of fit.
and one of my friends was like, I always hug below. I'm like, you're also dating someone who's 6'7". Like, calm down. Like, you can't reach.
Well, you have to hug below there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think I should stay on top.
How tall is this person? Your height,
Well,
actually?
I'm just saying, like, people I'm like, dating now, like, they're not 6'5" anymore. They're, like, probably between, like, 5'10" and 6 feet.
I just wonder who you marry. Like, I just want to know how tall they are. Like, right now. I would love to skip to that part.
Same.
Somebody asked me the other day if you could see into the future, into 5 years into the future, would you? And for the first time in my life, I said no. I don't
No.
want to know. Because if I see where I'm at, I'm afraid of the steps I would take to get there.
You would overthink it, and then you wouldn't end up there.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be happy on my way there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you should hug. Where do you like hugging right now? What'd you say?
Well, I don't know. So, one guy I was seeing, I hugged crisscross, and I was like,
Oh God.
oh my God.
Well, that's not the
I
answer.
was like, I can never see you again.
It's probably. Wait, where are you happier, above or below? Because I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I don't think on top or below is right
Wait,
or wrong.
I think I was happier on top, but then one time this one guy hugged me, and he was on top, and I was like, wait, that sounds like romantic when a guy hugs you around the neck. And now I overthink, and now I don't know Alex, and I'm too afraid to hug people going forward.
Do you think there's any correlation of kissing? Because you know, somebody always has a top lip and the bottom lip. Hold on. So then they have the bottom lip.
I'm a bottom lip, I think.
See, I'm a top lip.
But now with remember with lip filler, I told you I swapped a little bit?
Yeah, I would think you would be a bottom though.
Maybe I am a bottom.
Yeah.
Did I say bottom?
Yeah, you said you're bottom.
Yeah.
I'm top.
Okay.
I think I err hugging. Gosh.
It's like very, very nerve-wracking when you start to think about it.
But
But now I never want to hug a boy.
But I'm thinking in general too, like hugging anybody.
Well, I mean, I hug you crisscross.
Do you?
Yes. You and I are not hugging
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah.
with your arms around my neck.
Ew. Ew.
Can you imagine that?
No, I can't. I can't imagine hugging any girl. No, I think I do hug. I think I do like embrace girls though sometimes. I want to be on top though if I'm hugging a girl. That's for sure. I want to be on top.
Yeah. I don't like when people. No, I don't know. See, but when you start thinking about it, you start to like freak yourself out.
Yeah. Graham's so tall, I guess I'm always bottom there.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't think you could reach him.
No, I think if they're above a certain amount, you can't.
Yeah.
But I think if you're within range, I do think that's interesting.
I know. So I have to really work on this.
Is a platonic hug really cross?
Yeah.
Does everyone know that?
I think it's like just built in.
Yeah, like wired.
I'm gonna have you hug me after. Actually, no, you're sick.
Yeah, don't hug me.
Oh,
I mean,
hug me.
I'm not contagious, but let's still not hug.
Because the thing about like when you think about hugging someone, like close your eyes, you're automatically going like this. At least I am.
No, I'm going under. That's weird. Just in my head right then, my first instinct was under.
I'm trying to think of the last time I hugged you.
I'm constantly tall though. I should be above.
Yeah. Also, I don't really touch my girlfriend, so I don't know what it's like hugging my girlfriends.
Yeah.
But last night I hugged Crisscross.
Everyone.
Yeah, I think.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if there's one thing we know here at Mean Girl Pod, it is that therapy has probably been the largest, most impactful factor of our lives, especially since moving to New York.
Yes.
Getting to know yourself is a lifelong process, and one we would say is constantly changing and evolving. This is because we're always growing. Therapy is about deepening your self-awareness and self-understanding to help you discover your best self. And one thing Jordyn and I always say on here is we love to be vulnerable, but we always bring our therapy topics because we're like, if we didn't have our therapist who is an objective third-party listener, you and I would not be our best selves. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery and meet you where you are right now, which is very important. Sometimes we become so busy that self-care can be brushed to the side, and I feel like we're such big proponents of putting ourselves first because when we don't, we always say we end up in our worst positions. Jordyn and I both go to therapy weekly.
Maybe multiple times a week.
Sometimes 75 like me this week, but always on a Wednesday morning for you. Me, I vary, Therapy can be an effective way to give yourself time that you deserve to focus on yourself. Ready to put yourself first? Yes, we all are. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule, which honestly, I feel like then you have no excuses, which is the best part. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/meangirl today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/meangirl for 10% off your first month.
I don't remember.
We only had 2 drinks.
All right, so we'll work on that.
It's a WIP.
Should we intro our guests?
Yes.
You guys, we're so excited. We have a guest joining the pod today.
A rare occasion.
A rare occasion, but an exciting occasion.
Can I say I listened to them getting ready and laughed a lot? Like, they put me in a very good mood.
Oh, you listened while you got ready?
Yeah, I listened to them while I got ready, and I was like, oh.
Well, I'm going to tell them this when they join the pod, but these two people are my favorite podcast hosts in the entire world.
They've been ever since we started. You make girls got and I'm like, what are we talking about?
Literally.
Then I started listening, obviously, but when we got the email, Jordyn was like, oh my God.
They're like your Jay Shetty.
Yeah. I mean, wow. Oh my God, I would be not well. Are you okay?
I couldn't sleep last night. I felt sick to my stomach this morning.
Oh my God.
But in the best possible way, like Christmas.
I would not be okay. You just put it in perspective for me. My heart's beating really fast.
That's why when you were like telling me you didn't feel well, I was like, I should get your fucking shit together.
I texted this morning, I said, we're all good.
I was like, this is your Jay Shetty, your Ed Milet.
Oh my God, if we had both of them.
I know.
This is very exciting, though.
So I'm very exciting. I'm very...
It's very... She can't talk.
I'm gonna get tongue-tied. But anyways, let's intro them.
You intro them.
Yes, I will. Okay, you guys. So on today's episode, we are so excited to welcome the incredibly talented, hilarious, and boss women to the podcast. They co-host their own podcast called Girls Gotta Eat, which is phenomenal. And they own their own vibrator company called Vibes Only. It's been 1 year. Happy 1 year.
Oh,
and they're the... What?
Actually?
Yeah, they June 1st, I think, was their anniversary. And they're two of the most realest girls on the internet. Please welcome Rayna Greenberg and Ashley Hesseltine.
Okay, I'll just tell you this on here. When we started this podcast, so we were paired together out of mishap. And day 1, Jordyn's like, if we ever have Girls Gotta Eat on our podcast, my dream will come.
Well,
you guys are heard.
I just want to tell them. Oh shit.
Oh my
I
God.
was like, I've been waiting. Well, first off, thank you guys for coming.
Of course. Thank you for being here.
So happy to be here.
No, so I have been an avid listener since 2018. I've been to your live show.
Oh my
I
God.
listen to almost every episode. Me and my best friend back home, you guys have literally, not to be all fangirl, but I am fangirling, through like toxic relationships, like finding friends. Like I've literally listened to I think almost every episode of you guys.
Oh my gosh, thank you. That really means the world. You guys are so great. I was listening to your podcast this morning, and you are so funny. You're like an interrogator. You were asking her about this date, and the level of detail was, I was laughing out loud. I don't go as hard as Alex goes. It was like, okay, well, where were you standing when you were kissing? Where was his hands? What did you have to drink? I was really laughing.
You mine information like a detective. It's crazy. I'm like, I can't lie to her. It's terrifying.
It was next level, and I was like living for it. I was like, she's really painting the picture.
Mental images.
Yeah.
And you probably have one now.
Well, because it's awkward sometimes because like divulging your life online, like I need Alex to like rip it out of me. So I'm like, I'm about to give every detail of this man that I went on a date with, and I need her to help me.
But do you get nervous that you aren't going to know the answer? Like, she was like, and then what? And where were you standing? And where was his hands? I was just laughing so hard. And what time was this? And what did you have to drink after that?
Excuse me, you contradicted yourself. What was that? It's like,
I know, and I'm like, Alex, I blacked out. I don't know.
She was like, what'd you guys talk about during dinner? She's like, I don't remember.
Bro.
You like really want the details.
Yes.
This reminds me this time I tried to tell Ashley that this guy called me, and then I like flew right past that detail because I accidentally on purpose called him. And I'm like 10 minutes down the road to this story, and now she's like, that didn't happen.
No, I caught her in a lie. She's lied to me like 3 times in 5 years, and I caught her every
One
time.
lie was like a long lie.
Oh, you had to keep track of the lie?
Well, I was trying to fuck our video guy, and it just went on for a
Yeah,
really
it
long
was
time.
an HR situation. You guys
Did you ever fuck the video guy?
No, I'm still trying though. That's never that wish is never gonna die.
Is it the
guy
one
that
that
still
you
helps?
talked about in the last episode about the guy
Yeah.
that misses his deadlines?
Yeah.
Okay. That guy?
I would be right now. I'd be like, he doesn't make deadlines. And she'd be like, Jordyn, calm down, like stop. And I'm like, I'm so anal. I'm like, no, you gotta hit it.
You gotta look at him though. You gotta
Is
see
he
his
hot?
face and his body. It's crazy.
Oh, he's a smoke, and he's so wonderful. But it's like to watch Rayna try to fuck him for 3 years has been such a treat.
Is it for real or is this like a joke? Is it a bit or like you actually
I
want
wanna
to?
fuck him so bad.
Why won't he?
Does he know? He's very aware.
I tell him every day. Every day I tell him. He didn't text me back like 7 hours yesterday, and I was like, Buzz, I won't stop texting you. It's me. Hello. And he was like, I'm so sorry, baby. My phone died. And I was like, he says, baby, one time, and all is forgiven. He knows.
He knows.
love
Does he have a
that.
girlfriend?
No, it's kind of a shtick, but like if he was like,
Let's go.
let's go,
Yeah.
I couldn't get my clothes off fast enough.
You'd be like, I'm down. Thank you for asking. Oh man, I'm kind of into
And
this.
it's probably like freelance, so technically it's not like.
Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
I
that.
think he doesn't want to make. I think he knows it will change things.
Yeah.
It will fuck me up a little bit.
The maturity.
Fuck you. Okay.
Does he edit the podcast that you talk about this in? Not that video.
He just goes on the road and like shoots the shows and like
he's
does
on
our
the
hype
road.
videos and stuff. Yeah. So he was with us all of May, every single show. Like he knows us pretty well. Like he could probably ruin our lives. I don't know what he has
yeah.
footage of.
He has so many text messages that could ruin my life. I tried to have a threesome with him in Philadelphia.
And he says he's declined.
He declined. Yeah, I almost got him there. We were like talking dirty. I was touching his dick.
No, you were touching. You
Reel it in. Ashley's like,
Well, we were all 3 in the car, and
were you the third?
No, I wasn't the third.
No.
It was like a friend of ours. And so we're all 3 in the car, like late. We went out hard in Philly. And so we're all 3 in the car heading back to the hotel. And I think he starts to let it wash over him like, she's going to try to fuck me. like tonight's
wash
the night.
over him like it's not every day. I've been
Like,
rubbing
I
his
think he
dick
was
for an
like,
hour.
she's been stroking my dick all night. It's about to happen. And then we saw our assistant and she was like alone on the street. I'm like, oh no, she can't like walk home alone. You know, she's like our daughter. And he was like, I'll walk her home. And he ran out of the car.
runs out of the van. He hopped out of that van.
Like, I think he started to be like, I'm going back to the hotel. This is about to happen. I'm going to have to perform.
This is gonna be awkward. So I'll walk her home.
Yeah. And so then they sent us a picture like of them eating late night pizza. And I feel like Rayna was just in her bed like, motherfucker.
And he was like, nothing happened. Don't be mad at me. And he FaceTimed me shirtless to let me know he was in the bed alone. I was like, show me the room. Show me whose room that is.
Anyway.
But sure, okay, that's
Wait, I
kind of
love
funny
this.
though. I was gonna say shirtless is sort of like he's playing with you
Oh,
a little. He knows what he's got.
He's
think he
leaning
wants
into
it.
it. Yeah.
I think if a guy he FaceTimes you,
He loves
wants
to
it.
FaceTime.
oh,
He'll FaceTime me. I'm like,
Oh.
no, this is a phone call. You need my feedback on a video. We don't need to get on a Zoom, you know.
This could have been a text with a photo.
Yeah,
And here we
exactly.
are.
Yeah.
Have you guys, okay, so you guys tell lots of stories like this. Have you guys ever blown up like one of your friends' spot? I know. Blown
It's
up
very
like somebody's spot on the pod and they've been mad at you. Like the video guy's not going to care, but on your podcast, if you ever like ruined a friendship or like told a story so vulgar that one of your friends like, are you kidding me?
We have both had one incident with a friend that wasn't great. And Rayna's, which she can speak on hers, was really early on. It was like first 10 episodes, first 5 even, because we were just learning, and I had one thing with a friend where it wasn't a huge falling out by any stretch. She just didn't love the way that I shared a story. She's like, that's not really how I would have shared it and how I saw it happen. And we talked it out and we were fine. But I think we both actually just learned that lesson kind of early on.
And your families are really cool about what you guys talk about. It seems like
The coolest.
Yeah.
like very cool.
But
Like,
were they always, or was that like a learn? Like, did they listen to the first 10 episodes and be like, holy shit, or were they always like, all right, cool?
Well, Ashley's done stand up for a long time, and I think her family has seen her do that and talk about a lot of stuff. I didn't know if mine were going to be as cool. I mean, sex has always been like an open thing in my family, but like, my dad came to the Cleveland show this weekend and listened to like a 15-minute story about me getting like having this guy put a butt plug in me, and like he's so proud. He just smiles, and he says that seeing me on stage makes him feel like he accomplished something with his life.
Oh my God.
wait, that's really cute.
And he can't stop saying how pretty Ashley looked.
I love
Oh,
that.
I love that.
Rayna's dad is such a vibe. Like I adore him. But but that was my main concern when I wanted to start this podcast back in like 2017, where I was like, I've been talking about this forever. I do, stand up, and I've always had like a blog where I just shared everything about my life, and my parents are super cool with it. I've never had like a traditional job where it was a problem, but people think they are fine to do that, and then it comes down to it and they might not be. So when I asked Rayna, that was like my first question I asked her after, like, would you be willing to start a podcast? I was like, are you going to be super open about it? And she was like, yes. And I just kind of had to trust that, because I think some people would be like, wait a minute, like my dad might hear this, or whatever. She didn't have like a job. She she worked for herself like I did. But I'm like, people are like, I can't do this, my coworkers could hear. But I think sometimes with guys, at least, like, Rayna's had this happen, I guess, a time or two. I don't think that I really have, where like you're dating somebody and talking about them, and then their friends and their coworkers are like hearing it, and that's where it can get a little awkward, because they know it's him and they're like, oh, I didn't expect to hear about his dirty talk today at work, but here we are.
Yeah,
Has
here
the
we
pod affected your dating lives a lot, or any relationships you've been in?
I feel like for better and for worse. Like, I feel like Ashley and I have just become, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but a better person. I think I've become more understanding. I understand everybody's just doing their best. I'm also just better at just walking away from stuff if I'm just like, all right, it's not going to work out, and that's fine. We're just so lucky to have had so many incredible psychotherapists on the show. It's like free therapy. And the bad part is what Ashley said. Every once in a while you'll have somebody that's just like, you're too public for me, and that's really painful. But that's very few and far between. The only person was just like, my friends are going to listen to this, my coworkers. But if you're too private, that's okay. I mean, the alternative is that we don't do what we do, and that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so proud of what we do.
But it's also how we meet people. Like, I'm talking to someone right now that I met him because of the podcast. So when I really zoom out, I'm like, we've met people that we've dated a lot from the tour, and just from being all over the world and meeting people on the road. We've lived since we've started this, we've lived in New York and LA, which are the 2 worst cities for dating for women, I can confirm. So it's debatable. I think New York is the worst and LA is the second worst. So we always like date on the road and meet people, and so it's helped in a like meeting people way, getting laid way.
That's true, yeah.
Would you rather, though, so dating apps or like meeting somebody organically, you'd rather meet them organically?
Yeah.
Like any day of the
wild,
week?
Yeah.
I've been on like one dating app date in my life.
She's not in the culture.
Are you?
Okay.
Yeah, but I've never, my whole thing, and I think this still rings true, is I've never been on a second date of someone I met on an app.
Interesting.
I've been on a million first dates, but it's really not our preferred way.
We are lucky, though, that our lives lend itself a little bit more to, like, being out in public in the wild and meeting people. Ashley's in comedy clubs. People want to talk to the comedians afterwards. We do live shows. I dated a security guard from one of our venues for, like, a long time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I forgot you love bouncers, security
I was
guards.
going to say, wasn't there like the bouncer?
Yeah,
When
he's
you
so
were like-
hot. And Ashley came around him, too.
Yeah, I
she
used to
likes
hate him, and I'm like, wait a minute. He is
You're
so
not that
hot. He said I
bad.
was pretty, so, that's really all it takes.
So we are lucky that we are out in the world a little bit more. I do think I and Ashley have more access to people than somebody who's inside all day long,
But when you say you're talking to a guy now that you met on the road, is this like a guy that came up to you after a show, or like a friend of a friend was like, yo, you got to meet this guy in Philadelphia or something?
I'm trying to think of how to tell this. So I met him. He came to a show about 2 years ago, and he knew who I was before. He had DM'd me before. I guess he had like a thing for me before. It's been a long game for him.
Wow.
And which is flattering.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you already know what I do, what I talk about. It's a turn off to some guys. It could be, you know. So yeah, so I technically met him at this show a couple years ago, and he came randomly with his girlfriend at the time, and they broke up shortly thereafter. And then we've just DM'd off and on for 2 years randomly, like mostly him messaging me, like, you know, he's kind of like hitting on me, for lack of a better word. It's cute, flirty stuff, nothing crazy, nothing too aggressive. And I thought he was hot, so I just DM'd him before we like went back to the same city in May, and was like, are you coming to the show? And he was like, I wasn't planning on it, but let's get drinks after. So we hung out, and he's coming here tomorrow to stay the weekend with me in New York. So it's like, it's been a thing.
Wow.
Oh.
Like staying with you in the same hotel
Yeah.
room?
Well, so, okay, it's funny that you say that, because I would love to hear what you guys think about this. So this is something that I absolutely love that he did.
Oh.
He's done a lot of very cute things. He sent flowers to our tour. Like, he sent them to the theater
Wait, stop.
this past
We love a
week.
For
flower
both of you?
send.
For both of us, that'd be insane if
Oh,
one
I
of
was
us
like,
for me.
that green flag if you sent it
That
to her
would be
too.
cute.
He should send me gifts.
He should.
As your
should.
significant other, he should thank me for the time that I'm allotting to him.
Yeah, do you guys view yourself as a package deal? Because we want flowers for both
Yeah.
of us. Very
oh
much
my God,
so.
wait, he really fucked up.
Not to
Text him
derail
right now.
this.
How could you?
They're like, flowers are nice, and we're like, for both of you?
No, literally, she gets something. I'm like,
bitch.
I better be getting it too.
That is so okay, we'll tell him. I'll
Like
talk to
her
him about
husband
this.
sends me flowers too on our like 1
Yeah.
year. He's like, Jordyn, we'll get them too. I'm like, thank
Right.
you.
Oh, that's
I'll
so
talk to him.
sweet.
He will. You. I still do whatever. So
he's in.
was like talking to him about this weekend, and he obviously, I was like, he'll stay with me, but which was fine, which is what I expected. But I also, it's not a lot of pressure, but it's just, you know, you're in a hotel room in New York, you're in each other's space, whatever. So bottom line, we were talking about him coming, and I called him, and we were talking about the details and stuff. And we've both been a little, like, we've had we've had to manage them, be like, what time are you coming in? Do you need me help? Like, we like when a guy just has like a plan. He's already doesn't need you to like help him figure out like a train or a timing, things like that.
An adult.
An adult. Yes, an adult.
It's hard to find, though.
Yes.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
And,
hard to
and
find.
we've definitely been burned by just man children, right? So I called him, and he was like, I'm getting in at 4, and I booked a hotel room, and I'm staying there like, oh, okay. And I was like, I'll let him finish. And he was like, because, you know, I wasn't planning, I'm going to stay with you, obviously, if you want me to, but I didn't want to like be all up in your space and just kind of impose. And I'm just, you know, going to book a hotel room to like store my stuff essentially. And I was like, that is so considerate and so adult, and like, you're just going to burn this money for my level of comfort, and just so you're not all up in my shit because I have stuff to do. I mean, it was just really nice. It was a really nice gesture. I did not see it coming and was really pleasantly surprised by it.
Hotel rooms are so intimate, especially like with going to the bathroom and getting ready. Like you just want your space, and if he has to
I
go to
just
the
want to
bathroom,
show up looking the way I want to look,
Right, like,
and I
you
don't
gotta
want
show
you
up
like
with a bag,
lingering
yeah.
around. Like I had a thing with my ex in March, and I was like landing in Miami, and he was like, "Do you want me to leave the room so you can like get ready before we like hang out?" Like it
I
is
love
such a
that.
thing. I just want to like show
Yeah.
up looking nice. But Ashley and I feel like sometimes I like give men credit for stuff that's like not that big of a deal, but like then I'm like, but nobody does these things. The bar is so low, and
Yeah.
so many men don't think to like book a hotel room and give you your space. I mean, it is really rare, and I'm amazed by it.
He didn't have to do that. If he didn't do that, I wouldn't have even
Totally.
thought of it. But it was just like really nice.
we
you know?
talked about that last week. Is like the bare minimum actually the bare minimum? Because guys, like I went on a date and he opened my Uber door for me, and I was shocked. I was like,
You're like, the panties are wet.
I'm like, I'm gonna marry this man. He came 10 minutes early. I'm like, I love you. He bought my Uber home. He was in the Uber with me, so I guess it doesn't really count. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm not used to this. And I was
Yeah.
like, is the bare minimum actually like the bare minimum, or should we just expect this? Like, I don't even know these days.
Well, the flowers, that takes 10 minutes, and it is a huge gesture. Like, you know, you guys get it. You're like on the road. Like, it takes 2 seconds. You don't even have to get my address. You see where we're touring. You send them to the theater, and I'm blown away. That took 10 minutes. You know, $60, $70, whatever it costs. Like, and it lasts so long. Like, I'll talk about this forever.
No, and it's so sweet. And I feel like you're getting early signs of like, there's a level of entitlement sometimes I think guys feel. And it's like, I can't stay in the hotel room with you. And you're like, you could, yeah.
Yeah.
But the volumes you would speak if you didn't, and like you showed that you just like had this wherewithal to be like, no, I'll do it differently, or I can see where you're at and send you flowers. It's like those are like, because it doesn't get better over time. Typically, it gets a little worse. So you want them to start here,
start strong.
Yeah, if they're starting out not buying your Uber, it's like you're gonna end up owing them money.
Literally.
You can sometimes, and it's like
I love that energy. It's only gonna get worse from here. So.
I know.
No, literally.
I think it's important to like set a precedent from early on, because I've had situations that were like such a slippery slope that I just started like taking care of stuff and paying for stuff. And then like I remember I had like gone away with my ex for the weekend essentially, and I told my friend that I had ended up paying for like the hotel and the car, and I didn't love it. He just didn't make anywhere near as much money as I did. It didn't matter to me, but he didn't offer at all. And I remember saying to another friend of mine, she's very chill, I told her to have, and she was like, stop this right now. Have a conversation and discuss it right now and stop it right now. And I didn't. I decided to just date him even
Narrator.
harder. Yeah. I went hard. I paid for more stuff. Because it's hard to say to somebody, like, I wish you'd contribute a little more. But if you start the precedent so early that you're just going to pay it, it's not a big deal. And, like, I think the assumption is, like, I had all this money and it didn't matter at all. And whether or not that's true, I don't owe you any money. So I didn't like it. And it's hard to get ahead of it after that.
Yeah, that's what you taught me early on, was like to expect make the guy pay. Don't offering is nice, but like people are like, why do you let them get away with everything so easy? Like, be more stern in the beginning so like they know that they have to work for it.
Well, and our friend texted us. We're in this group chat with like our new LA group of friends, and
I heard about that on the pod. Congrats.
We love that, and they're so much fun. And this one girl who she just dates up a storm. We love hearing like all her stories. Wild child. She's starting to people are starting to come up that she's already dated. She's like Samantha Jones. It's like so
crazy.
Funny. Where she's like, wait, we already dated. This is crazy.
Let's talk about Stella Blue coffee, because what do we love here?
Coffee.
Is there anything better than having that first sip of coffee in the morning?
No, it reminds me of my first kiss.
It's like, you knew what I was going to say. It's like getting your first kiss every single day. It's euphoric. We've talked about our first kiss, and it is euphoric.
I remember to the day I die, I remember that first kiss.
That's something you should absolutely never forget. Stella Blue coffee supports pets, unlike Big Coffee. So for every purchase, a portion of the proceeds goes directly towards helping Paws Animal Shelter, helping dogs find homes. What's better than helping sweet little dogs and getting good coffee? And you can get yours tomorrow, available on StellaBlueCoffee.com and next day shipping on Amazon Prime. Get your coffee now before they sell out.
And they have iced coffee too now,
which is like your Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm still drinking hot coffee even though it's 100 degrees. Stop waiting in line at Starbucks, ordering on confusing apps, which I don't even have the app, having your name spelled wrong, Jordan, on the cup. There's nothing that irks this girl more. Go to StellaBlueCoffee.com and use promo code MEAN, MEAN, for 10% off your next order. That's StellaBlueCoffee.com, promo code MEAN.
So she said she lives in West Hollywood. She lives near me. And she said she was going on a first date with a guy and he wanted to meet up in Santa Monica, which is far. I mean, it's like 30, 40 minutes, you know. And she was like, is it bad if I ask him to at least meet in the middle? And I was like, he needs to come to you on a first date. Like, this isn't some old fashioned way of thinking, but I think a man, if you're a man and a woman dating, like he should come to you. He should pick up the first date that he asked you on. I don't need someone to pay for me forever. I pick up the tab all the time. But the first date, it really is nice because it's also like, it's for a woman to go out with a strange man. That's just like going out on a limb too in the first place. Like,
well, you always say too, which I like, that like,
and you got
clothing
time
costs
to get ready.
More,
Yeah,
like makeup costs more, hair costs more.
You're getting ready, and he's in the car. Like that 30, 40 minutes. Why are you going to take an hour to get ready? Then another travel time.
Well, and I mean, I'm like, if you don't feel courted as like fuck on the first date, it's like, why? Like, he should be like, your Uber's there. I called it for you. I'm meeting you somewhere.
Too.
I'm like, we got to roll out the red carpet.
That is
maybe I'm jaded. I don't know.
No, you're not.
If it's far for you to send you a car.
My panties are already on the floor of the Uber.
It's literally Mr. Big. Like,
eliminate the competition.
Guys don't realize how easy it is.
It's Christian Grey. Like, it's
yes. And you're like, oh, that was so hot. And then if he kind of fucks up at dinner or something, you're going to forget that a little bit because he called you that. Like, that's one of those things. It has nothing to do with personality. You just were like, I can do this, so you do it. And then you're like, oh, that's dreamy.
Well, and it shows that they actually care.
Yeah.
Like, we just want someone to seem like they care and respect.
Yes.
Like, it'd be nice to feel respected for once.
Can we
takes
do
5 minutes.
the LA, the New York being the worst and
Oh,
LA
yeah.
being the second. Can we just dive in? Because I actually did live in LA, but I obviously wasn't dating. So can we just divulge that?
Yeah, how is that, like, dating in New York versus LA? I need to know the differences.
I mean, I think in both cities you just have like a wealth of incredible women, and I think New York is the top of like the smartest, most interesting. Like they're working out, volunteering, hanging out with their friends, like all the things. And men are just like, there's one of you on every corner.
Yeah.
It's so true.
And it's not just like I'll get a hotter girl. It's just like, I don't know, I'll find another one of you. And not every man feels like that. We have friends that have like found partners that are wonderful and put them on a pedestal. But I do think that's sort of a problem here. People are just, there's always somebody incredible right
Like
down
the next
street.
best thing.
Yeah.
Syndrome.
Me and all my friends say we will not meet our husbands in New York City.
They're like infected.
Yes.
Like I hate to say it. I love this city. It's like will have my heart forever. But and here's the thing though. Here's what people are saying. And we're speaking from a age of like 35 plus. That's my age range. But I think when you're younger, in your 20s, early 30s, like it is really fucking fun to date. I think it's just when it comes down to the commitment part of it. Like my best nights out in New York were dates. Like you just have so much fun. And I do think that the guys typically tend to like actually make a date and show up. What you get a lot more in LA is like the flakiness. And we're hearing this in Denver a lot too, which is like, a hot city, like for dating. A lot of women move there to date because it's like the numbers are more in their favor, but it's hard to actually get to the date. It's hard to pin someone down. It's hard to get out of the app. It's hard. They just kind of flake so I will say I do feel like guys in New York will just actually show up, make a plan, take you out. But then when it comes down to like maybe a second date, third date, any sort of commitment, that's where things kind of go awry. But I've been on a lot of dates in LA. I have really enjoyed it. I haven't found any issues with it, but that's what we're more hearing is like, it's hard to get to the date.
Do you think it's proximity and like how in New York you can just walk or subway in
I think
LA
a
you have
lot
to
of it,
drive?
yeah.
That's
it's
the
like-
only thing I miss the most about New York is just I'm not a big plans person. I want to decide at like 5 when I'm doing at 5:15, and like I love the access to everything in 10 minutes. And LA, you got to make a plan. Where's everyone going? What's the reservation? And like also at the end of the day, like Ashley, for example, will drive over to Venice to my house for recording and then drives back, and she's been in the car for 90 minutes that day. And at the end of the day, you're like, do you really want to go out and drive somewhere else? And it's annoying.
Do you guys Uber or do you drive for dates? Like that is such a foreign concept to me now because I've lived in New York for 2 years and all I do is walk or take the subway or Uber.
I've walked to a date. I've walked to a couple dates, and then I love to walk. That's like a vibe. And then I have Ubered because I just am probably gonna have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
And I also just don't like parking's. I don't know what the parking is yet everywhere. I'm not totally familiarized with every place, so it's just like easier.
Driving's a buzzkill, I think, to dates.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, like, I'm kind of like, I would rather Uber, if anything.
Yeah.
Especially in LA. Like, I lived there for 6 months. Logistically, I think it's hard planning-wise. But I think if you could at least Uber, like, you've never had to worry about how you're going to get home, really.
No.
Like, you're not driving.
I
You're
remember in
a car.
Minnesota, a guy would be like, "Oh, I drove here," and I'm like, "Well, fuck, I Ubered. Now we're not gonna have fun tonight." Like,
Right.
I wanted to get drunk.
Yes, that's like the expectation that you're not going to get like too drunk and have fun.
Then you're like, why'd we even come? You're
And
like,
that's why New York is awesome because you can literally like stay out till 4 a.m. and bop around
Like
and
you
walk
did.
home. Exactly.
your last
I
date.
did.
a little 5:30 moment.
On
Oh my God,
on a
5:30?
Tuesday.
Oh,
We did
yeah,
not
so
sleep together
fun.
either, though. I was very proud of myself.
How many bars did you go to? How many locations?
Only 2.
2 locations. What time did you start the date?
It was at 8 p.m.
Tacos and
Oh, she had a mixer before that.
And I had a singles mixer before, so I got drunk.
There was a point where you said I probably, which is this is what I used to do too. But like I say, like I'm your mom. But when you said something like I probably had 12 drinks, I just like laughed out loud. But that's accurate. But like it made me laugh. I was like doing my makeup. I was like, that's right. That is right.
She probably did have 12.
Yes.
They were all like one marg and the rest was
Yeah.
wine at this bar.
Oh my God,
And
that
the-
much wine.
I know.
I feel like I want to
She looked
vomit.
great the next day too.
And that's the beauty of New York too. It's like people are like, how do you have conversation? I'm like, in New York, random people will talk to you at bars. Like the bartender, some like old man will come in and be like, let me tell you my life story.
That's so true. LA, everybody is too cool to act like they're having fun. It is like the
Oh.
predominant thing there.
Really?
I love LA. That's great. But yeah, there's not a lot of people like to act like they're very
Do
cool.
you love LA? Like, do you guys love? Are you guys happy there and we want to
Yeah.
stay there forever?
We're really happy.
Oh, not forever.
Okay, but it's
yeah,
good right
I just
now.
like we just feel like we're East Coast people. My family, I was just with my family in Delaware. My nephew, I'm obsessed with, and I don't see it forever. But I think at least for the next like couple years, we're just like really happy there. We have like so much fun. We love our friends there. I mean, Rayna lived here for a really long time. I lived here for 6 years. You were 15.
Wow.
But we just were like, we want to have like a bigger house, and I want to hike on the weekends. And my dog, if we moved back here, he would kill himself. He would just run into traffic. He would be like, I can't. What are you doing to me? But we do actually love it. We've had the worst possible weather in the history of LA.
That's crazy right now. Yeah, but it's fine.
It's
Still
fine.
love it. Okay.
People are like, oh yeah, May gray. So first of all, it rained for 3 months, January through March. It was like unprecedented.
monsoon.
Like downpour?
Yeah, like we're not
insane.
kidding. It was like historical,
More than ever, right?
apocalyptic. And then we're like, we're gonna get out of it finally. And I felt like in April, May, and then people were like, oh well, May gray and June gloom. We were like, what? No one's talking about this.
They're like,
this
well, we're
is
used
some
to that.
bullshit. No one said that. I never heard those words.
Never heard it in my entire life. Also, I feel like we've spent a lot of time there, but not in May and June.
I've been there in May.
Known about June.
I've been there for Memorial Day 3 times.
I have been there for Memorial Day, and it was beautiful that weekend.
This, I just am like, you guys are full of some shit out here, but it's fine.
That's so them too to not.
No,
to
we
not
do love
loop
it.
you
We
in
do
on
love
that.
it.
because they're fake.
Yeah, 'cause
because
you're like-
they're so fake.
I always,
Um,
yeah.
I
I
think
think you
people are
gotta live
super
in New
nice.
York when you're young and you have like no money and you don't care that you live in a slum. Because I did. I lived in an apartment where I had a twin bed in my bedroom. The bathroom, the toilet. Yeah, girl, it's all I could fit in the bedroom.
Damn.
The toilet was in my roommate's room. It was in a closet.
No.
The shower and the sink were in another room. So I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night either to wake my roommate up and go to the closet toilet in her room, or to go to the diner downstairs. If I had a guy stay over, I had to be like, you have to take a shit downstairs.
No.
You can't wake up my roommate. Pee in the sink.
A
I
guy
don't know
over
what
in
to
the
tell
twin
you.
bed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll fuck anywhere. I mean, I'm not going to let that stop me. That was my first apartment. But, like, you don't care when you move here and you're young. You're just like, I'll live anywhere. I'll live on the streets. It doesn't matter. But as you get a little older, I think you want more space. LA is better. And I think LA is much harder to meet people. And I think it's harder to, like, find your community. So if you're a little bit older, you've amassed more friends. It is a little bit easier to move there. And you're like, I have a lot more people there.
Yeah.
So you guys are like there permanently. You don't have a place in New York anymore. You guys are fully there.
Houses, cars. We did it.
Yeah, we bought cars.
Love the cars. I saw them. Those are nice.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about confidence with you guys? Because
Yes.
Jordan was like, they're the most confident people I know, which we haven't met you, but.
So we think it's a. We've been joking.
Ashley had this very. You say your joke.
Well,
It's
I
very
just
funny.
feel like it's an insult because it's like they are really confident.
No. You said that in an episode that's coming out on Monday that people are just like, oh, it was last week.
No, I
Yeah.
just was like, I think it used to be a dig because I have my old face, but like I just think it's funny where people are like, they are really confident.
Yeah.
No, in an
No, it's-
episode maybe like 2 or 3 ago, you were talking about when you were at your smallest, you didn't feel your most confident, and like guys weren't approaching you more than they are. You said you were at your biggest. I think you look fabulous.
Oh,
but
thank you.
I remember like literally hearing that and being like, wow, I need to like reevaluate my body image and like thoughts about that.
Well, I started taking diet pills when I was like 12 years old. I like was really overdeveloped compared to like the other girls in school. I had really huge boobs and I hit puberty at a very young age. I got my period when I was 11. So I was like really curvy compared to the other like string bean girls around me. And so I started taking diet pills. I would like have an apple for lunch and I could like swear I felt it in my stomach. I developed all kinds of like body dysmorphia and like disordered eating. But it didn't, like, I realized, like, the skinniest times in my life are the most unhappy. The relationships that made me the most unhappy when I was the skinniest, I was so miserable. And, like, weighing myself every day certainly didn't make my life any better. And, like, depriving myself of food didn't make me think about food less. It made me think about food more. And I don't know. I mean, I met Ashley and she was so into fitness and I had, like, never worked out a day in my life. And then during COVID, I bought a bike and started working out. And the more I work out, the more I'm just like, my body just looks how it's supposed to look. And I'm excited about it. And some people are not going to be attracted to me, and like that's okay. I'm not attracted to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have like great parents that have built me up, you know, my whole life. That's just like something I feel grateful for every day. So I think I've just always been a like confident person. And I think you have to do stuff that makes you proud of yourself, you know, like feel accomplished, like get set in your life that you have like built a life that you're really proud of for yourself. I think that makes you like more confident. And I think a lot of it just, we've been talking about this too, is like knowing you're not going to be for everybody, like knowing that you're not everybody's taste and that's okay. And I don't know. I think it's just comes with age too, you know, like you really, that's really a real thing.
Yeah.
Like it took so long for me also to really get where I felt like I was happy with my body and I wasn't have to thinking about everything I ate and drank and everything. And I feel like that just was part of growing up too. I don't know.
We've had a lot of people on the show, especially recently, that just talk about like stopping the negative self-talk. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that a lot because like I do make jokes about being like a strong 6 and like changing my face and getting new teeth and like Botox and all this stuff. And I do have like a lot of negative self-talk. I don't tend to look in the mirror and say like, you look amazing. I tend to like look at all the flaws. And we had Emily Morse on our show, and Ashley and her and I were talking about how I like blow my hair dry with my I blow my hair dry naked and like look at myself. And I was like, I'm gonna start like saying nicer stuff to myself, because like if you hear that 15 times a day, you are going to believe that.
Yes.
Whatever you say to yourself all day. So I have been thinking a lot about like really knocking that off, because I mean, if you hear something all day every day, that is gonna be your reality.
My therapist makes me, I don't do it as much, but stand in front of the mirror naked for 2 minutes every day and like say nice things to myself.
Totally.
And it's like so emotional and like traumatizing, but literally I start to believe it and I'm like, this actually works.
Yeah.
So
I love this.
I know
you
you
do start to believe it. It's like
awkward,
there's
but-
I mean, we're not like neuroscientists, but there's stuff of how your brain will like, what is it? Like
Your brain doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality, that stuff.
but if your brain will make the things you're saying like true or something. Like your brain will work to validate those things that you're saying.
Yeah.
And catch it if you see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're saying it.
Yeah.
I think the confidence thing, like, I think we view you're way more like versed in them because they're literally your dream guest.
Yeah, I was
But
listening
right.
to every
we
episode.
love you. We're so happy to be here.
But we
Should the
say
reason I
here,
have
like,
this
we haven't done this as
podcast.
long as you guys. Like, you got more years on us. And I think, like, a lot of times we find ourselves sitting in this room, like, we'll have to stop because, like, one of us is crying. Like, we struggle with the confidence because this is, like, such a new world to us. And we're not used to, like, people having opinions, or we didn't sign up for Barstool doing this together.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
is there, like, any tips that you guys would give, like, a younger you, us two, on the confidence side of, even like the other day we were in Charlotte and these girls came up to us and they were like, we love you guys, like you make such an impact on our lives. And I literally had a panic attack and I was like, how can I impact your life? Like, I don't feel like I deserve that. And like, we
Yeah.
always say that. And so it's like, what do you guys, you've been doing it longer.
Well, do you guys get down in like negative comments?
Oh, our comments are,
But like, do you read them?
oh, not
No,
anymore.
We don't get down. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
we get down. I don't read
Because
any of them.
I don't do anything. I actively avoid it. I have not read our reviews since 2019. Once they kind of started to take a turn, just not all of them, but once people started to say mean stuff, I will not look at anything. I don't seek it out. Like people were kind of starting to say some stuff on our Instagram. They've been pretty great lately. I've logged out of it and I was like, this is what we have, someone that works for us to post these. I don't need to see this. Like, it will get in my head and I don't need to see it. And I think that anytime someone says something negative, there's like 10 positive things that you should actually be reading and believing, as opposed to giving air to the negative stuff. But I mean, I guess what you're saying, like, do you feel like you're, what is the word?
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, imposter
Oh, yes.
syndrome. That's what it is. Yeah. Well, you're not.
Yeah, you're just not.
like, no, that you're not.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that's just so simple. Like, well, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you're here, you're sitting here, you've got this gig, like, for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's just, like, what it is. I will say, like, our age and the way we were able to grow up really does matter with social media. I was out of college before I really actually had social media, and I guess, well, Facebook, but not the way that it is now, of course, and of course not Instagram. So we were really lucky to grow up without like so much with social media comparison, people saying stuff. Like, I feel lucky every day. I like, and you guys are in your late 20s.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
30
girls
in
in their
3
like
weeks.
early girls in their like early 20s, and like you've had like Instagram in high school. Like, I can't
no.
imagine
No.
it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
no.
it gets into your brain. Like, you have to just unfuck your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's like a name of a podcast.
Ashley and I also, we don't live in an echo chamber of like no feedback ever. It's just the two of us, and like
Oh,
we're
of
just like,
course
you're
not.
great, you're great, you're great. But like, I don't need to read those negative reviews because I didn't know that person 2 seconds ago, and that person came to my job to say something nasty to me about what I've dedicated my life to, and I don't have to take that feedback. We have great, really smart, amazing girlfriends that listen to the show every single week. They give us feedback.
We have a team of
family.
people. We have
Yeah.
agents and managers. Yeah.
Yeah, we have
like,
tons of people. The person that
Yeah.
sells our
can
ads
take a
listens every
note.
week. Like, if somebody says something to us, we will listen and take the feedback. The kind of stuff on the internet, it's just those are people that showed up that day to ruin your day. And in terms of like the imposter syndrome. Like, if not you, then who? No one else is sitting here. And also, that girl didn't have to say that thing to you. She came up to say thank you to you for what you've done for her life. And that does, you're not a psychiatrist. You're just saying things that's relatable. And she's like, I heard this thing and I was able to like put it into practice in my life and it changed me. And like, how special is that you didn't have to get a degree to do that? That's amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
It's just based on how you guys live your lives. That's incredible.
But I feel you sometimes, like, Rayna and I have been doing this for a long time, and we get approached a lot. We get a lot of messages, a lot of emails, and they really run the gamut of just simple thank you so much to like overwhelming I was gonna kill myself kind of stuff, like where you're like, how can we do this? Like how can, it's such an honor, but you're like, I feel like that sometimes. I'm like, am I worthy of being able to do this? Like someone saying like their parent died and they've been listening to the podcast because it fills the void or whatever it is, like stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know if it's imposter syndrome, but it's like, am I qualified to like be so impactful? And I believe it, but you do feel that sense of like, what? When people are literally like, you saved my life. I'm like, what? Well, I'm so happy. It's such an honor, but okay, I hope I'm like doing okay.
No, like when you talked about ending your engagement, like a few years ago, I was going through a breakup with my boyfriend of 5 years, and I was like, wait, your message was like a sign that I was like, I can't settle. I need to find like my person. And I was like, if Rayna can do it and break up an engagement, or not an engagement, your engagement, I was like, I can end up a relationship with my boyfriend.
I'm
so
glad,
you do.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, Ashley and I don't ever give advice. It's like, do this, say this, because everybody's story is so different. So what's right for me and her is not right for you. But like, if somebody can listen to that story and at least say to themselves, like, her fiance left her the day after their engagement party, and she survived, and she changed her life, and she met people and started a business. If somebody can look at that and take inspiration, then like, I've done what I've set out to do, and I'm like super proud of that for us.
Oh yeah,
That's incredible. I love that.
I know.
Yeah. Wow.
I know.
Gave me chills.
That was helpful.
It was helpful. No, it was.
No, it was. And
we
I
had to
know-
ask the big sister question.
Yeah, and so many people are gonna listen and they're gonna find peace with that, so they're gonna appreciate it. I know, but we just got the 5-minute warning.
Well, we brought you vibrators. We want to give you
Yes,
vibrators.
yes,
We're doing
yes,
orgasms.
please. Okay,
Orgasms help too.
plug
They get
yourself.
your-
They really
your
do.
serotonin,
And when all else fails.
your
Yeah, well, you guys
dopamine.
plug yourself in your new company. Well, not new, 1 year. Happy
1
1
year.
year.
Exactly 1 year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Look at this. Vibes only vibrators. So you guys have a Rayna and Ashley, right?
Yeah, but the Ashley is fine. But I brought you my other favorite.
Wait, you have another one?
That's we have what we have. We have 4.
What's funny, our favorites are not the Rayna and the Ashley. Like, my favorite's the butt plug.
You got the Lucy, I think.
Okay.
So the Lucy is like, it's a bullet and it has 2 sleeves on it and you can change it up. So there's one that's like, I'm probably going to use it this weekend. It can like go on a finger, so it like can vibrate, and it's like someone can wear it. You can wear it, or like your partner can wear it.
Oh my
And then there's
God.
another one that can be used like more of a wand style. It can like,
Love.
you'll see, but
Wait,
it
so
kind
who's
of.
Lucy?
So Lucy is named.
Who is Lucy?
I came up with the name because it would be, if I wanted to have kids, it would be
know
my
this
daughter's
now.
name. So we call it like the Lucy Tusey because it's like got two different sleeves in there, but also it is like my daughter that I'll never have.
it over.
You know.
And then we have blowjob gel that we sell that's flavored. We're coming out with a formula that can also be used on vulvas. And
Ooh.
we have cum towels. We have an app with a remote control. There's erotic audio. There's great videos to enhance your sex life. So we've really done it all. We built it out. All the toys are Bluetooth enabled, and the remote control's free. And we have a long distance compatibility also. With
Pina
the toys.
colada flavored, right? For
That's
the
the
blowjob?
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
blowjob flavor this summer.
I feel like you will love that because we
I
talked about
love it.
that. She's like, why
Yeah.
can't it just taste better? I'm like,
Spray tans, all of it. I'm like, why doesn't this thing taste better? But you guys did that. Pina colada. Thank you.
Well,
I want to
some.
try that.
Just remind
Please.
us.
I love that.
We were like at brunch and I had one in my purse. I had to give it to a girlfriend of mine. She was going on this vacation with this guy, and so I brought it in my purse and I whipped it out. We were there with Mateo Lane, who's this comedian we love, and we were like just talking about the blowjob. The server comes over, and then the table next door, everybody was like super involved, and we were like, Rayna's just pitching it. I'm like, she's always be closing. She's like, you can get it at vibesonly.com. It was so
I worked in
funny.
sales for a long time.
Yeah. The couple next to us, I will say people in LA are like so nice and friendly. And the couple next
Oh,
to
really?
us, we think that.
Okay.
We think,
I don't
so
care if
I
it's
don't want to
fake.
hate
I'll
on
take
it.
it.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah,
fake,
that's
I don't
fine,
care.
too.
I
That's
don't give a
fine.
shit.
Love.
I'll
They
take
purchase.
it.
Like
yeah.
the server, the couple next to us, they're like, sign us up, you know. So
Everyone's like, oh, that's a great idea.
yeah.
Wait, I
So
love
it'll
that.
help your dick sucking. in the summer.
Where can people find you guys? Your podcast, your socials, plug everything.
Ashley does this.
Girlsgottaeat.com, and we just wrapped our first half of the year tour, but we start back up in the fall. So the rest of the year, we're in London. We're on the West Coast. We'll end here in New York at the Beacon for our holiday show. But yeah, tickets at girlsgottaeat.com. Listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcast. And I'm Ash Hess. Rayna is Rayna.Greenberg on Instagram, and then vibesonly.com is where you can shop the products and get all that stuff.
Let us know when
Get
your live show is. We're
on.
going to come.
We would love
you guys,
to.
we'd love to have you
Be
there.
my second
You
one.
girls are so good at what you do and so fun and engaging.
you.
I just want to say that. Like, there's no reason for imposter syndrome. This is a blast. We're going to talk
so good.
passionately about this.
It's so funny because, like, I see so much of, like, who is who in, like, our relationship. Even, like,
100%.
you plugging in, like, Alex plugs in. Like,
Yes.
I'm reading. I can't read.
Yeah, I know.
I can't read. I don't read ads. I'm like, I can't read.
So when you read, I can't read. I trip a lot. Do you trip a lot?
So whenever we have an ad, I'm like, Alex, I can't read. I can't read. That's why I was like, when she's like, do the intro to them, I'm like, I can't read in front of them.
Like, oh, that's why. That's why you deleted it. It's probably still there. She doesn't want to read it.
I just can't read
I
it
could
for
read
you
it
guys.
too.
But no, it's like so many things that you guys do. I'm like, that's so awesome. It's
I
so
love
fun to
it.
see.
Every duo has that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You really can like fit,
I also don't want to know what I'm doing at 5:15 at 5 though. Like I'm
right.
like you on that. I'm like, no planning.
Ashley's like Ashley's fluid, but she's the plan maker.
Yeah,
that's
she's
this
like
one.
she's
Well,
like
I
want to
do what I want to do.
She's
I'm
like,
I'm planning the trip because I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm like, just let
color
me know.
coordinated calendar.
Yeah.
She's like, where am I going? I'm like, it's okay.
What city is it?
She's like, you're not gonna like the trip. You're not gonna make any plans, and then you're not gonna like the trip.
As long as I didn't have to plan.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming. We loved having you.
Yes,
I love
thank
this.
you. This was amazing.
Such a blast.
And your dream. Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, this was my
This is
birthday
your birthday
present.
present. You got your
It's
dream.
also our birthday
Our
week.
birthday to
birthdays.
you,
And
too.
happy birthday to you guys in a few weeks.
In a bit. Yes.
Are
Happy
you
Saturday. Happy
July what?
birthday.
July 9th.
July 9th.
July 1st.
Yeah.
June 14th, June 17th.
Guys, come on.
Come on.
It's a lot. Okay.
I love
Thank
it.
you guys
Yeah,
so
thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yay.